We are now live. Let's go. Hey everyone, John here. I'm the lead maintainer of the open source Latterly.io, which is a career development platform for software engineers from aspirational all the way to staff senior plus, and we'll help you learn to code, land your first or next programming role, grow your social and professional network. And today is VIBEATHON. This is part one. We're going to be dealing with Lovable, Replit, and Rosebud. That's the scope of the current stream. Follow the page, follow the channel for more streams throughout the day. We'll be comparing more tools. We're going to look at Codex and Cursor, all the above. In this stream, we're looking at these three tools, and we're going to be benchmarking them, the same app in all three tools. How easy is it to make? What is the quality of the result? And we're going to start out with a rock, paper, scissors game. And it's going to get more interesting from there. We're going to have rock, paper, scissors, and then other abilities. And if it works really well, we might scale up to a more full-fledged RPG with dungeon building and stuff like that. But we're going to start with this kind of rock, paper, scissors concept and maybe throw in some Halloween flavor because it is coming up to that season. And I think this is a great idea whenever you're building projects. Try to make a not cookie cutter project. And one of the ways is to personalize it with your own hobbies, your own favorite colors. That's a great way to personalize your projects for your portfolio. Another is to make it seasonally relevant or to make it themed along some kind of domain theme, not a color theme. That's interesting too. Dark mode is always a nice to have, but light mode, dark mode is pretty common. Even if it's a little more advanced, it's still pretty common and it's not real differentiated. You can really differentiate by making a seasonally themed app. And that also kind of catches some eyes if you're creating content around your projects too, to get more attention. Keeping it trendy, keeping it on trend and seasonal is a cool way to do that. And it can just be fun. Show it off to your friends and family and say, hey, check out this Halloween game that I made, or this Christmas game, or this Easter or Valentine's, whatever it might be. Okay. So on Rosebud, I have the 10x dev plan. On Replit, I have the core plan, and we'll get into the reasons that I've picked these. And then on Lovable, you can see I'm with the pro plan. So why did I go with pro on Lovable? The main reason is because I don't need the advanced features of enterprise. I don't need SSO. This idea of personal projects is kind of interesting. Maybe design templates is interesting. So if things go well, I might upgrade to business. But what I really wanted was to be able to get private projects, remove the Lovable badge is really nice, and I wanted to get those credits. So on the free tier, you're restricted to like 5 or 10 credits a month or a day, something like that. It's hard to build any meaningful app that way. So the pro is kind of the minimal way to get 100 credits, and then you can up your credits if you need to. And I like the Lovable pricing because, if I'm not mistaken, we'll see as we go, I think a credit is a prompt. Or maybe 10 credits is a prompt. I think 1 credit is a prompt. In contrast to Lovable, I think a prompt is like 1,000 credits, which is kind of weird. So the Rosebud pricing in general is a little bit weird. I went for this 10x dev plan because I want the commercial rights. And this 300,000 credits per month should support me for today, but if I was doing game development full time, this would not be enough. In fact, I think even if I was a very serious hobby developer, so I have a full-time job and then I'm developing off hours and weekends, I still think this is not enough. So some napkin math, I think I can do 10 or 20 prompts per minute or per hour? Per hour. I can do 10 or 20 prompts per hour. You might send a prompt and then it takes a little while to process. You can do 10 or 20 per hour. Let's call it 15. So if I do this 40 hours a week, then that would be that'd be like 600, okay? So 600,000, I'm already, like I can't do this full-time even for 1 week. This won't even last me a week. Maybe it'll last you a week or two on the side, but I don't even think it's gonna last you the full month if you're doing serious side development. So really, I think if you're gonna take this as side development, you go for pro, and then if you're doing full-time, you're going to want to go for scale 2, which is actually hard to see. So you see scale 1, and then out of the corner of your eye, you might see scale 2, and here's unlimited credits per month. That's awesome. If I'm a full-time game developer, and if this tool works, I want that scale too. So shout out to Rosebud. I think you can simplify the pricing. Newbie, free, I get it. We want to give a free tier so people can try it out. I think you can consolidate all three of these, and then I think you can consolidate the scale 1 and scale 2. So here, up to 2 million credits per month, for a lot of people that's enough, but if you go beyond that, you can just have this scaling pay per usage built in, and then up to the price of 200 per month, maybe it scales for 2 million, and then it goes into unlimited or whatever you want to do. So you can just have a scale plan, and that's just how the pricing on the scale plan works. There's some cool features. This is going to have the highest quality AI chat and asset generation. Henry, it's hard to read your screen. Yeah, if you're on mobile, it's gonna be hard to read. Sorry about that. Maybe you can go over to YouTube and see slightly better. You can also try turning your phone sideways and see if you can do that kind of way to watch it. There's just a lot of information on the screen. So I could zoom in. I don't think I'm gonna want to be zoomed in the whole stream, but maybe that helps a little bit for now. And notice if I zoom in, I don't even see the scale 1 or scale 2 at all. So sideways, it's perfect. Okay, cool. Thanks for the note. Okay, and the ability to download your project code is pretty attractive. In the future, I'd like to see the ability to upload code as well. Okay, that's a quick note on the Rosebud pricing. I think it can be simplified. I'm going for this 10x dev for the purpose of this stream, but if I were doing hobby development, I would go pro, and if I was doing full-time, I'd go for scale 2 personally. Replit Core, why did I go for Replit Core? The answer is they released this Agent 3. And Agent 3 is really cool because it includes app testing. So it's self-testing, and we'll see how well it works, but in theory, this is extremely powerful. In the past, working with Lovable, working with any of them really, the system will run into errors and then I have to go fix it. And that's really painful, particularly when I'm not able to effectively download, fix, and then re-upload and then resume. So if we can keep it vibey and keep everything in the cloud, prompt-based, and have it test itself, that's extremely powerful. And then for professional usage, we'll see if it generates those test suites in downloadable code. But that would also be an advantage because on the job as a professional, I'm expected to develop these test suites. So it's going to do app testing, and hopefully that takes the form of generating test code, which I can then download and contribute to my code base. That would be fantastic. We'll see. So those are the reasons that I picked each of these options. Let's dive into it. And then one of the things that I want to look at with Rosebud is this idea of templates. So I'm going to try just prompting Rosebud, but then I'm going to come back and try to use templates. It's pretty hard to see in the background here. It mentions phaser match 3. And I did a recent stream just yesterday with Rosebud where it was promising. It was promising, and that's why I decided to upgrade and give it more attention. The promising one, I'll show you my project. So this is an existing project from yesterday. I think it took 5 prompts to generate. And it's a trick or treat kind of theme of a game, okay? I ran into the credit wall. That's one reason I needed to upgrade. But I was not expecting it to look like this. When I prompted it, I was expecting something more like an old school Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. So Dragon Quest, 2D top-down, old school RPG. I was expecting something like this. I was expecting something like this for a 2D top-down RPG. And it generated this view, which is interesting. And then I can press space to drop these things, which I guess are supposed to be kind of an attack. So it's looking more like a platformer action RPG, which I'm not opposed to. It just wasn't my original intent. I tried to prompt it to refactor. That did not go well. But maybe starting from scratch with a template could solve that difference between my intent and then what was generated. Or maybe that's just a constraint on Rosebud. Maybe this is the style of game that it can generate, and that could be the case. So we'll find out today. Okay, let's dive in there, and then let me also show you in Lovable with a previously generated project that is I'm pretty happy with, although it has problems, and we'll talk about those problems, and I'll tell you the specific things that I'm looking for. One of them I already told you is the ability to download and upload code. 2, testing. 3, pricing. Okay, so we've touched on those already. 4, the ability to generate an app that's close to my intent. So I want a working app, and I want the app that I intended to make, not some variation that may be working, but it's not what I want. I want to be able to steer it and get what I want. Okay, that's a useful vibe coding tool. And then if I have the app that I want and the game is working, then I would like to be able to sign up users and charge users. So authentication, database integration, and Stripe payment or some other payment platform integration, that's going to be the other big thing that I'm looking for that I've always run into trouble with Lovable, is sometimes I can get a decent app, and Lovable will even let you download the code, but I've had trouble integrating to Supabase, and they brag loudly about how well they partner and integrate with Supabase, but it has never worked for me, and I'm a long-time Supabase user. I'm not a novice with Supabase. By the way, I love Supabase, and I highly encourage you to use it. Even if you don't use it with Lovable, I would recommend that you use it for your own personal projects. You can get a free tier, you can get a free portfolio going with the ability to sign up real users, and that's a much more impactful portfolio project than others which don't have near to production usage. So a portfolio app where you can really sign up users and you can claim impact metrics along those lines is going to be a lot more convincing to the employer than a project which doesn't have any real users and it's kind of off in some unused island of the internet. So let me show you an existing project where I was pretty happy with the project, but I couldn't authenticate. Okay, and so there have been a few of these. Here, Pixel Quest is one, and this is going to be kind of that top-down RPG. And then this other one is more like a idle gacha game, and I was pretty happy with that. But the gacha mechanic won't work if you can't charge money, right? Well, you can do the free gacha rolls. But making it really useful, sending it to the App Store, I wouldn't do that because I can't monetize it. So then it's just a cost center for me. Okay, so here is the Pixel Quest thing. I can tap to go around the screen. I can also keyboard. All right, and I can go off screen. So this is like a peaceful village. Here's a village. All right, there's people. I can chat with them. There's like a shop. So this is closer to that dungeon, the Dragon Quest idea that I had in mind. And you can see even in the title, it's Dragon Quest clone, right? So I can fight this goblin. Let's see how this fight goes. Cool, so I beat the goblin, I got some experience points, and we're going to be able to level up and get equipment and all those kind of RPG stuff. I can also go off map, and look, here's a new region, okay? I'm going to run away from this level 3 skeleton. I failed to escape. Okay, and so on the beige steps, these are roads, and you won't get into a fight, but in the green, this is like kind of like Pokemon. You run in the grass, and you might get into a fight. And the cool thing about this region 3, once it's procedurally generated, it is then memorized. And so I can return to the place I came, and I can return to, it's reproducible. Which is kind of table stakes for a production grade RPG, but you'll notice in some procedurally generated vibe code games, the maps are not remembered. So you'll go to a new area, and then you'll try to come back again, and it'll be it'll be like a reroll, and that's not desired. So this is in a pretty good state. It's to the state where it's like, okay, let's see if we can actually integrate to a database, get people to sign up, and get people to pay. And that's where I ran into pain points with this in the past. We can try to iterate on this, but then also we might try to go from fresh. So we can do that rock, paper, scissors kind of even playing field. And we'll get to both of those attempted things throughout the course of today. Maybe not in this stream. Make sure to follow the page. There will be multiple streams, particularly TikTok and YouTube, throughout the day today. Okay, so that's one example of an app that I liked. Here's another example of this gacha style. So you kind of wait here, and you can notice the gold is going up. So it's got this idle mechanic, and then I can collect rewards. I get this fun pop-up. I think this is nice. I think it's delightful. I get summon shards, equipment shards, gems, and I can go over to a store here on the summon tab, I can do a gem summon. You see I have 13 gems, so I can do a gem summon over here. And I got a Sylph Dancer. Cool. Here, the Sylph Dancer picture is like an emoji, so it's based off the element. It's air, so you get this like air emoji. In the past, I had difficulty generating image assets, game assets with Lovable. My understanding is that that's been improved. And that's something Rosebud has always been good at uniquely, is that they were always able to generate game assets. So you see my little person here in the ghosts. These are generated assets. I did not upload those or anything. So that will be another thing to keep an eye out for as we compare. Okay, and then there's like a battle tab. I can have a party of like 10 people. That's kind of cool. Here's my main character, Kata the Novice. There's evolution mechanics. So there's a lot of cool stuff here. Here's an equipment store. How much money do I have? I have 190 gold. So let me buy the steel blade and see if I can equip it. So in my inventory, this guy, equip available. And then I don't know if that equipment is actually working. And then we'll add the Sylph Dancer. So now I can go to the town and I can go to a battle arena, start a battle. So you can see the graphics are pretty limited here, but I have a battle going on. Oh, my little Sylph Dancer is about to get wrecked. Sylph Dancer taken down. And then what should happen, oh no. What I'm expecting would happen is, did it defeat both of my people? Yeah, it looks like it killed the Sylph Dancer and that wrecked my party. What I would expect to happen is that then the enemy would start attacking this guy. Whatever, there's some bugs, but you get the idea of how this thing kind of works. Are you teaching vibe coding now? I am not really teaching this. I'm evaluating the platforms more than teaching. But yeah, if you want to, we can set up a course or something like that. I just want to learn the part where I can charge a child $20 for an in-game skin. Yeah. I mean, one step at a time. That seems it seems like way too much. Maybe like 20 cents. But you got to get the Stripe integration working at all, right? Okay, so I've given you the background, kind of some of the things that we're looking at for the evaluation. Let's get started. Let's make a rock, paper, scissors arena style game with progressively, let's see. Progressive skill acquisition. Players start with just rock, paper, and scissor moves. As the player wins, they accumulate a win record and new abilities. Enemies start with rock, paper, scissors and can also acquire new abilities. An example of a new ability would be magic spell, or like fireball, which beats paper but not rock. Whenever a winner can't be determined, the match is a tie, similar to paper versus paper. Limbo Lin, just playing. I'm running a cohort teaching vibe coding in November. Cool. Keep me updated. What plan are you on? I went over that already earlier in the stream. So I have Replit Core. I have Rosebud, the 10x, the 10x level, and then for Lovable, I'm using the Pro. And feel free to watch the stream. It's going to be saved on YouTube, and you can get the details for why I picked each thing. So I'm going to go for this, all right? And then we'll take the same prompt. Oh, cool, referral stuff. All right, let's start building. Hey man, do you recommend a senior in high school to do computer science, or is the market done? The market is not done. Go ahead and get in there. That's a great degree. All right, so we're doing the same prompt. And then we'll come back over here. And we will go for a 2D game. Rosebud is also capable of doing 3D games, which is interesting. I'm not sure if it's equally good at both. It might be better at one or the other. So let's do another one. Generate a 3D game. I'm just so worried I won't land a job or internship seeing so many things on Reddit and TikTok. Yeah, first of all, social media, if it bleeds, it leads. Also traditional media, so there's a negative bias in these algorithms. You're gonna hear the downside. But the other thing is, like, what's your alternative? So you think just because tech is doing badly means that everyone else is doing well? Like, this is the problem where people focus on the negative in tech. It's like the whole economy moves together. So let's look at layoffs. Layoffs are actually down year over year. Where's the year over year view? Yeah, layoffs by year. So there have been layoffs, there have been a lot of layoffs, but it's actually currently and projected to be the lowest in years, okay? Another thing, on the open tech jobs. So we're nowhere near the peak, right? 200 something is like 50% of the peak. This peak was never a sustainable peak. This was the result of massive government stimulus, and then the stimulus cut off, causing a crash, okay? And then we don't have prior data, but basically we're close to how it used to be. And we are significantly above the low, and we're trending up, okay? So a bunch of misleading information out there. Get the real facts for yourself. There's hundreds of thousands of jobs. And the question is, what else would you do? So, you know, things are not the best they've ever been, but there are more options between the best it's ever been and the worst it's ever been. The truth is usually in the middle, and actually we're in the middle today. But we're on an uptrend, and there are fundamental economic reasons we should expect the uptrend in tech to continue. The tech sector is the way economies experience growth. So you can say, oh, tech is kind of bearish lately. Tech is kind of stalled lately. That means the whole economy is stalled lately. That doesn't mean you should go for some like work in restaurants or something. I mean, I don't know you as a person. Maybe you have a special passion for cooking. Go for it. I'm all for it. But in general, if tech is doing badly, the whole economy is doing badly. So it's not like because tech is doing badly, I should avoid tech. You need to say, what is the alternative? And it is true, though, that your particular alternatives are going to be different than the aggregate average alternatives in the economy. So just because tech is generally a good idea, may or may not make it a good idea for you specifically. You're going to have your own particular talents and preferences. But I would say, in general, on average, tech is still the place to be. Why is the economy bad right now? Do you think it gets better anytime soon? Yeah, and I don't like this idea of good economy, bad economy. This is like TikTok speak that you're doing. So I just went through the fact that it's between good and bad, and it's trending up. So this is a good thing. Will it get better anytime soon? Yeah, every month it's getting a little bit better. Every month it's getting a little bit better. Okay. Good questions. Thanks for being here. All right, we're going to close this out. We might come back to these later. So here's the rock, paper, scissors arena. Cool. And then here's this guy's rock, paper, scissors arena. I'll include the following. Let's build the entire app, 20 plus minutes. Unavailable with this app type. Okay. So let's start building the app. And it says it's going to take me 20 minutes. And we're using the agent 3 that should be self-testing. So it looks like Replit is a slower process, and that's okay if the quality is there. We'll see. Here's a 3D approach. Here's a 2D approach on Rosebud. Okay, I'm just hovering my mouse. I didn't click anything. That was weird. What is going on? I'll continue with the next step. It doesn't look super playable at the moment. So let's do rock. Both cast rock. I'll do rock again. Enemy won. Oh no. Enemy won. Yo, I'm getting wrecked over here. Wait. Okay, let's do paper. I won. Fire. Finally. Paper beats fireball. Paper should not beat fireball. Scissors beat paper. Okay, that makes sense. Paper beats rock. That makes sense. Now I got the new ability. Fire. Fire beats paper. Now I got ice. Okay. Cool. This is doing well so far. The graphics are kind of weird, but whatever. Thanks for the follow. All right, you see Rosebud 2 prompts in already running into an issue. Let's click the fix it here. And now we're trying the Lovable version. So let me go. I actually think this UI is probably cleanest. So here I'll go rock, battle. I win, nice. Now I'll go scissors. Oh, am I unable to change? Okay, each round I can change. So now I'll go scissors. And that looks like a tie. I'll go scissors again. Tie again, what? Oh, I won that one. Okay, cool. I win again, and now I can do a fireball. Boom. So we got better prompt following in Lovable. Burns paper, melts ice, blocked by earth. Cool. Limbo says, gotta head out, got class, good to see you again. See you. Thanks for being here. Consider throwing some likes on the video if you're enjoying it so far. That will help the algorithm send it around. Okay. Core RPS mechanic, love to see it. Design approach looks good. Progressive system, cool. Smart battle logic. What's next? Add more abilities. Yeah, let's do that. Or modify, let's do that, let's do that. Let's add more abilities and put an ability cap in place. Players can have no more than 4 abilities. When a new ability is unlocked, players can replace an existing ability with a new one. Also increase the number of abilities and get creative. Consider adding shoot bow and ride horse and call even some weird ones. Even some weird ones. Make sandwich and call hacker friend. Be creative and unexpected with abilities. Make sure enemies get random abilities too. I'm copying this exact prompt and we're going to go over to Rosebud. Oh, and now Rosebud is letting me pick the model. That's cool. So I can do Claude Sonnet for 2,000 or Gemini 2.5 Pro for 1,000 credits. I personally like Gemini 2.5 Pro quite a bit. All right, it looks like this got fixed, kind of. Defeat. It's like hard to play this one because of the zooming effects. We'll deal with that separately. First, I'm going to use the same prompt over here. And Replit has a game. Hey, this looks kind of good. Rock. You won. Experience gained. Paper. Defeat. Oh no. I still got some experience from the defeat. That's cool. Level up, new ability unlocked. Fireball. Well, okay, fire ties scissors. That kind of makes sense. Fire beats paper. Fire beats paper. Fire ties rock. Nope, fire should lose to rock. Fire should lose to rock. If everything looks good, continue building to make these updates to your app. Fireball should lose to rock. And then I'm giving it the additional self-same prompt. Okay, so things I'm noticing about Replit. The app completion estimate, it actually took less than that estimate. I guess that's nice. Okay, so they should have the ability cap going on. Lovable is still working, it looks like, okay? Sorry, I couldn't generate valid code. Let's have Rosebud try again. Oh, it kind of like rolled back. It did like a rollback thing. I would like to be able to just retry. I'm not crazy about these 3D graphics. It's too dark and hard to see what's going on. Okay, the game is hard to view. It's hard to view what ability I am choosing due to the zoom on hover effects. Alter this to use a highlight or drop shadow or border on hover instead of zooming. Okay. Let's try to fix it with Rosebud. Replit is still working, no worries at all. And Lovable is ready for a retry. Cool, all right, so I'm gonna start with rock, boom. Oh, enemy abilities bake cookies and stuff. Enemy abilities should not be obvious to the player. They can be revealed after they have been used, but they should be hidden at the start of the round. Also add a special ability, which is Go Detective Mode, which ties every ability of the other player and has the side effect of revealing all enemy abilities. This should be an unlockable move, not one that the player starts with access to. Also add an encyclopedia function through a menu where the player can view unlocked abilities. Unlocked or seen or observed abilities. Okay, now we got this hover. Okay, so good job, Rosebud, in the 2D versions. Let's go rock. We're gonna keep rocking here. Defeat, bummer. I like the scissors with 3 fingers sticking up. Oh, there's 5 fingers on the hand. I guess that's cool. Victory, finally. Ooh, now I got Fireball. Fireball beats Scissors somehow. These are hard to see. The abilities are too close to each other on the screen so that their text overlaps. Increase the spacing. Also, all that stuff. Oh, in the 3D version, the player does not have a 4 cap. So we got some instructions not being followed here. Now I know that Gemini itself has the ability to follow these instructions quite well. So this seems to be like some falling down of Rosebud. Okay, Replit is catching up. I'm going to give it the instruction that the enemy abilities should not be obvious to the player and to add the encyclopedia through the menu. We'll do a quick play test here. Paper. Ooh, and now I can write, and it has rarity. Love that. Let's choose this ability. Choose a new ability. Okay. But now I'm not able to use it. Is that because the thing reset? It looks like the browser reset on code change. That's okay. Yeah, so we'll leave Replit alone. It's resetting the browser on code change, which makes sense. But that was a nice modal to pick the riding a horse. Lovable ran into some issue here. Let's try to fix. Rosebud ran into an issue. We'll try to fix. And it ran into an issue in both versions. So the Replit agent thing is holding the record for kind of like catching issues and fixing itself so that I don't have to explicitly prompt to fix. That's really cool. By the way, I have no affiliation or sponsorship with any of these people, in case that was a question. Actually, I tried to get a sponsorship from Replit, but I guess the pricing I sent them was too high or something. So this is looking a little bit better, but there's too many icons down here. All right, let's try it anyway. Boss battle, whoa. I'll bite on its recommended prompt here, and then I'm going to say, also, improve the lighting. The player and enemies are currently always very dark and hard to see. Also, let there be a default enemy mesh, which is a slime for non-boss battles, which is a slime or a humanoid randomly selected per round. Okay, we'll go with that. 2D version continues to struggle. Replit still working. Oh, we got an issue on Replit. Let's see if it can fix itself. By the way, I noticed it's using GameUI.tsx, so it's using TypeScript under the hood. I'm sure that's helping contribute to the reliability. And then if I downloaded the code, it would be nicer to work with because it would be typed code, right? 136 likes on TikTok, thank you so much. I don't see how many likes on YouTube or LinkedIn, but I appreciate all the likes. Consider following the page, adding some more likes so that the algorithm will send it around. Some platforms will allow you to multi-like. TikTok does this. Other platforms won't, so I don't know that YouTube allows this. You can try it. It might just sort of toggle on and off your likes. Okay, so Replit fixed its own issue, and it continues to work. I see the new encyclopedia here. Cool, cool. Nos, best website to use AI to create mobile app designs and terrible with UX design. Do you mean, are you asking a question or are you giving a comment about Replit? Yeah, I have not tried to put any of these on the App Store. So when we say mobile app, are we talking about a responsive web app, or are we talking about the Apple Store or the Android Store? I wish there was a single answer for all of these, but unfortunately you need to get specific because different tools are currently good at different things. Maybe in the future there will be one tool to rule them all, but that isn't the case today. So if you're asking for one which works in the App Store, I have not found one that works well. So they tell us that they work well, but I have not seen a single one that works well. Just UI design in general. I like Replit's design, or sorry, Lovable's design. I like the style that it makes in general. This is kind of not nice. But it's really steerable, so we could easily add a light mode. Yeah, so I like Lovable. Replit is doing really well though. So in the past I wasn't too impressed with it, but it's doing really well today. This Rosebud, I asked it to improve the lighting here. This is still not looking good. I asked it to create that default mesh. It's still not looking good. We got the encyclopedia now. Very basic encyclopedia over here. That's okay. So I'm not super impressed with the Rosebud graphics. Sorry, I couldn't generate valid code. Please try to simplify the prompt, ask clear memory, and try again. So let's try to simplify the prompt. Well, this is it prompting itself. And it's just an unexpected token. That one should be straightforward to fix. So out of these three tools I'm looking at, it looks like Lovable and Replit will be the best currently. Battle Arena is hard to read as it is dark text on a dark background. Introduce background color awareness and environments which change the background color and add game effects. For example, an ocean environment might allow water-related special moves, might allow a water-related special move to become available, and enemies might be water specialists. Similarly, we could have a volcano or forest environment. In each of these cases, the text should be readable. Perhaps the text sits on its own div, which has a reliable color to preserve readability. All right, we'll go give this prompt to Replit. First, I want to try the game as it is. Okay, so the encyclopedia is looking good. Back to menu, start a battle. Scissors, defeat. No. I'm getting wrecked on scissors. Okay, a tie. Nice. Win, win, win. New ability unlocked. Ride horse. We're definitely going to ride a horse. Oh, in this window, I get stuck. I get stuck on the level up dialogue, which allows me to choose a new ability. After choosing an ability, I have no way to close the modal. Four minutes of work in this case, 4 minutes of work in that case. Okay, so it looks like it's clocking in around 4 minutes rather than the 20 minutes or whatever that it talked about. Here's rock, here's paper, here's scissors. Oh, boss battle, scissors. Shadow Flare beats scissors. Well, I guess it would, wouldn't it? I beat them with paper. Improve the lighting or improve the lighting or mesh colors so that the player doesn't always appear black. Let's just keep it simple. Maybe simpler prompts are going to work better on Rosebud. Okay, so we're back into a playable state here. Got rock. I really don't like that zooming effect. I don't like the zooming effect when I choose an ability. Let the icon shake instead of zooming in so much. Going for simpler prompts on Rosebud. Okay, this is much better. This is much better. So maybe we just need to prompt the Rosebud more simply. Let there always be an enemy mesh available. It can default to a slime or humanoid mesh. So I have a little kind of magic person here. That's cool. I fixed the bug, okay? Choose your move. Now I want Thor's hammer. We did not, in fact, fix the issue. Now when I choose skip, the modal closes and immediately opens itself again. This is not expected. Or I expect the game or next round to resume instead. Also, let's see. Yeah, also the button should not say skip if I have just selected an ability. Not very good that I'm using negative prompting there. Maybe I should have said also the button should say close. So positive, what it should do, instructions perform better than negatives. So that's kind of a mistake on my part, but we'll see if it works anyway. Artungo, thank you for the follow. 136 likes on TikTok. Consider giving the video some more likes so the algorithm will send it around. Thank you so much. All right, so we've got, Battle Arena is much easier to see now on Lovable. Great stuff. Manage abilities. This is looking good. Let's play a couple fights over here. Oh, there's no play move button. That's interesting. I am able to select an ability, but I need, so we'll use the positive prompt, but I need a play move button or something similar. Replit is working on it. It's crucial the opponent is always present in the arena. I cannot see the default mesh for the opponent. Is it transparent or too small? All right, we have the 2D version and it's zooming and shaking. It seems previous changes to ensure fallback is always available had an oversight. I still cannot see the default enemy. Add additional validation checks and logic to ensure a round does not begin until an enemy mesh is confirmed and rendered. Okay, this is better. This is what I like. This is looking good. Choose your ability. So this is the background color awareness prompt. I'm going to go ahead and give this over to Replit so that we can get it on the same level with Lovable. Summon lawyer. Nice. You lose. Drive tank beats scissors. Yeah, that makes sense. Drive tank beats rock. Well, is there anything I can do? Paper versus play guitar. It's a tie, okay? Earthquake beats rock. Man, I'm really getting wrecked over here. Okay, so paper covers rock. And what I notice is the enemy abilities are getting reset every time, so it's like a new battle every time. Which kind of makes sense. But then I have no ability to discover the enemy abilities. Let's introduce a best of 3 mechanic so that the player must win or lose 3 rounds to win a battle or game with a particular enemy. This way, the player can learn about the abilities of the current enemy over time. Let me get rid of that time concept. That might be confusing. Can learn about the abilities of the current enemy in the context of the same match. I'll give that to the 3D, and I'll give that to the 2D. Chat, what would you like to see happen in these games? Any feature requests? Here's a boss battle. We can see that boss better now. Both cast rock. So he keeps casting rock, so let me cast paper. Boom. Paper beats fireball. It should not. Can you make it to where each person is leveling up as they win, like their status? Yeah, so that's kind of happening, but we can declare levels, and maybe health goes with it too. Let's introduce player levels and health. The health mechanic is the, let's see. Let's introduce player levels and health. How would the health work? So there's currently a best of 3 mechanic. Yeah. The best of 3 mechanic is no longer fixed. Instead, we use the player's health. A player starts at level 1 with 3 health. And health can increase as the player player levels up. Also add an ability which heals the player by 1 health point. Oh no, that could introduce a cycle. Yeah. The player can only play this once per match. Oh, maybe we want magic points. Also introduce ability points. Some abilities, not all, use ability points. Create a heal self ability, which uses an ability point and heals a health point. What do you think, Artungo? Is that along the lines you were thinking? We'll give this to Replit momentarily. Giving it to Rosebud. Can I peek at the code over here? Tools and files. It has a database in here. That's cool. Git version control. Love to see it. Files. Oh, it has audio. I am not actually playing the audio, so I can't hear any of that. I'm not seeing the test files here, but I saw it running. Executed RG. See, it's running a test here. Maybe RG is a Replit agent command. Camera is frozen. Oh, bummer. Thanks for letting me know. Now, my face is frozen, but you can still see the game. Is that right? Cool. All right. Thanks, Louie. All right. Then we'll keep going as long as you can see the important part. All right. So let's play some of this rock, paper, scissors with Lovable. I'll go rock. And so I'm learning that the enemy has a fireball. Rock versus fireball, it's a tie. No, rock should totally beat fireball. Rock should totally beat fireball. Oh, it's still editing. Okay. All right, we'll leave him alone for now. So paper is beating rock. Cool. Boom. Get wrecked. Paper beat rock again. Round one. Match one. Paper all the way. Oh, I lost. Paper supremacy. So I'm not seeing a count of my my wins. Oh, here's the wins. But I want to see round progress. No, match lost. Boo. Okay, let the... I want to see round progress. In the UI. I'll just leave it simple. I'll just leave it simple. Ensure there is a mesh for the opponent. Yeah. There is currently no default mesh loaded. The same problem, it's not catching and fixing. Replit is still cooking over here. And Lovable is done. So here, rock should totally beat fireball. So we'll play this while it's working. That shouldn't take it too long to fix. Boom, we lose to paper. Paper supremacy, y'all. Okay, paper. Paper versus make sandwich is a tie, okay? Paper versus earthquake is a tie. Paper versus play guitar is a tie. Shoot bow beats paper. Oh man. What can I do? I'll do scissors. That should beat a bow. Scissors versus baked cookie is a tie, okay? No, the enemy abilities are getting reset again. Right. So Yeah. We're like cycling. Enemy abilities are currently reset every time I click continue. This is not expected. Enemy abilities should only reset when a new match begins. Cool. 5 dynamic environments. Let's go, Replit. So we're going to start the battle. We're going scissors. Did this get the level thing? No, not yet. So we need to give it the level prompt. So let's go get that level prompt. You are absolutely right. An invisible enemy is no fun. It seems I missed adding a default. I still cannot see the default mesh. All right, I'm about to give up on this 3D version, even though it was promising. Like, it just is not fixing this, Rosebud. Round 2, round 3, but I'm not seeing who's winning and losing. So I'm seeing round 5. I see the round count increment. I would also like to see the wins so far for each player in the current match. All right, that's fixed. So let's see. Now I can pick paper. And the enemy abilities are not being reset. That's good. Okay. I think scissors might beat guitar, huh? I think scissors should beat guitar. Should beat play guitar. Rock beats play guitar. That's funny. Okay. Next battle. Rock versus rock is a tie. Rock. Paper beats rock. Oh, I lose. Paper supremacy. I should have known. I win. Paper versus Ninja Strike. It's a tie. Really? I think scissors should beat play guitar. Ninja Strike should beat paper. Ooh, the ability is being swapped out without my consent. Manage abilities. Okay, so I can kind of swap it out myself this way. Yeah, I don't need scissors. I'll take heal self instead of scissors. Okay. Fireball beats ride horse. Get wrecked, Steel Warrior. Get wrecked. I'm just gonna fireball you. Fireball versus Lawyer. It's a tie. Lawyer should beat Paper, I think. Paper versus Paper. Scissor beats Paper. Oh, man, come on. Lawyer... Also make illegal immigrant, which loses to Lawyer and Paper. But it beats lots of things. Make some other creative abilities. Decided on UI health display. It did over 60 actions. That's really impressive. Okay. Rosebud still struggling. Let's add some flair. Sure. That sounds good. $293. So I want to watch. Does the fix request charge me? Infinite loop detected. Oh no. Rosebud is out here making infinite loops. Let's make a game over screen. Okay. Sure. This is good. Oh, it's actually crushing my memory. Okay, we're going to be done with that. It actually froze up my web screen. That was crazy. Animations when a player levels up. Sounds good. Let's get lightning. Oh, summon dragon. Let's go. What? Summon dragon ties rock? That seems crazy. Oh, I feel like my health should be restored on a new match, right? Health should be restored on a new match start. Losing all your health should trigger a game over logic. And there should be a persistent leaderboard a la arcade games. Let's give this to everyone. So the first loser in our competition is Rosebud 3D. But Rosebud 2D is still hanging in here. Summon lawyer beats paper. Oh no, I've been served. The lawyer beat my paper. Is this the end of paper supremacy? Paper versus ride a horse is a tie. Sure. Makes sense to me. Write code beats paper. You know, I can't argue. Can't argue with that. Paper versus ride horse is a tie. How about scissors? Write code beats scissors. Whoa. Writing code is OP. This guy read my mind. To set this up, click on the green Supabase button. All right, y'all. Are we going to do this? All right, let's see if Lovable can handle Supabase now. Let's take it up a notch. Why is this making me anxious? Because it's never worked before. That's why it's making me anxious. Avo, thanks for the follow. Green Supabase button in the top right. Once connected, I can help you implement. Okay, so we just want to connect for now. Doing nothing else besides connecting. Manage connected organizations. Okay, we're already connected to the organization. Okay, good. Let's connect a project. We'll create a new project. Project name is Ascend Your Clash, just to match. Ascend Your Clash DB. For the password, let me take this off screen. All right, so we have the database here. What are we doing next? Is it connected yet? No. What's this? Check project status in Supabase. Okay. Yeah, it's just setting up. Okay, cool. We'll come back in a moment. Replit is cooking. Replit is still cooking. Rosebud is having some issue. So Rosebud seems pretty fragile, and I'm not surprised by this because it uses JavaScript rather than TypeScript, and it doesn't test itself. All right, this is cool. We got a new start game thing going on. Like the fade, dig that. Round lost, bummer. Round won. Paper supremacy, bring it home. Oh, that's okay. Keep the faith, y'all. Nope. All right, we lost. The faith did us no good. Game over. How many points do I have? 0. Nice. Let's do it again. Scissor supremacy this time. All right, 1 and 1. Let's hang in there. 2 and 1. Scissors for the win. Just scissor this guy. Just scissor this guy. We win. So I get points, right? All right. Scissor tie. That's all right. We're going to hang in there. We're going to hang in there. 1 and 1. 2 and 1. And then let's do one that they definitely won't predict, which is scissors again. One more time. Oh, man. I'll do one more and switch to a rock. Oh, man. They're not going to see this coming. Here we go. Boom. Ah. Oh. See, I should have picked scissors and I would have won. There we go. We made it. We made it, chat. So I'm not unlocking new abilities. That is one that this game seems to be missing. Accrue experience Or like, yeah. Wins should unlock, yeah, level ups should unlock new abilities. Wins should cause level ups. Let's just do that. Review the Postgres database setup in Drizzle schema. Okay, so it's going for Drizzle. Interesting. I've not been a Drizzle guy so far. I've been a Postgres guy. But if Drizzle works with Replit, maybe that changes. Executing SQL queries, very much full stack. I like it. So he's still cooking. Now, the project is let's see. What is our project status? Still kind of booting up. Okay, so project status is green now. All right. Let's connect, ascend your Clash. Supabase connected. Follow instructions in the chat to complete the integration. You can now work with a fully featured backend. Let's go. I have never gotten Lovable to work this far. That was really easy and seamless. That has never worked that well for me before. It has never worked that well for me before. And it's telling me to use RLS. I've never gotten that to work either. But okay, let's do one thing at a time. Enable sign up and log in with options like email, password. We'll stick with email, password for now. We can do social login later. Add email, pass, sign up, and sign in. Also add this, specifically the leaderboard. We got an update for you. To make Supabase authentication more robust, Lovable can now read your project logs. Okay, this is new and probably good. I'm going to take this off screen in case it does any passwordy things. Okay, that seems fine. I'm getting the urge to refresh my screen, but I won't do it because that could break things, and I'm scared. We got an update for you. I just did this. All right, let me try to refresh. I just did this, bro. Let's do it again. Okay. This is what happened last time. It just went away. That means it should be working, right? No. So it still doesn't work? Is that what I'm seeing? All right. Looks like it still doesn't work. Man, why? Okay. Cool. So at this point, I'll call Lovable paused for reason of this. The Supabase integration still doesn't work. Still doesn't work. Rosebud kept it in memory. That's fine. And let's see how. And Replit is still cooking. Okay. So we have our second loser of the race. Let's see how this game plays. And we can try to do the Supabase connection over here next. We're at the 125, 26, 27 mark, right around there is where we have the Lovable Supabase integration issue. So I'll take that up with them after the stream. Boom, we got a win. Match won. Yes, it is. We're going to go, let's go rock supremacy this time. Are they doing rocks too? They just keep throwing rock. Maybe I need to go for paper after all. Oh man, they did it first. No. All right, I lose. Game over. Okay. John. All right. So we have John with 1, John with 0. And now, add sign in and sign up with email and pass. So let's integrate Supabase. So let's see if that works. And then I can get the leaderboard through Supabase. Replit still cooking. 13 minutes. So it looks like that long time estimation kicks in when it needs to construct the database. So here's a leaderboard. Cool. And I did not have to connect to Supabase or anything. I wonder if it's handling it on the Replit side internally, which would be super cool if it works. It's still thinking though. So let's see if we can read what happened. Plan database, decided on schema. Oh, it restarts it on command. That's interesting. Shared alias usage. Interesting. I actually like this experience a lot. Shout out to Replit. I like this experience a lot. Sorry, I couldn't generate valid code. Could you try to be simpler? Okay, let's just say integrate Supabase, add, sign in, and sign up with email pass. That's pretty simple, right? I mean, to be simpler than that, you would integrate to Supabase and do nothing with it, which seems silly. So this will be a fail condition. If it is unable to integrate this much, then I will just end the race with Rosebud at that point. I wonder how it's going to do the kind of like password management and stuff. Okay, let's try to fix it. 285. Does fixing it charge me? 285. And the project status went yellow. with an unhealthy real time. That's interesting. It was green and then it went yellows for some reason. Applying migrations. How weird. I wonder if it had an issue trying to connect to Lovable. I wonder if that's what caused it. Unexpected token else 284. Yeah, so it charged me for the fixed call, which is a total bummer. I don't like getting charged when you are not working. Can you imagine, like, you hire a contractor to like work on your house? You like pay them, and then they like break stuff, and then they're like, "Give me the money." That would be no bueno. Okay, all right. So it did fix itself. That's good. Let's update the leaderboard to save scores. Yeah, good. Rosie, this like AI thing, it gives good suggested next steps. It doesn't always code very well, but the suggestions that it makes, I really like those. Replit is still going. 18 minutes. That's awesome. I'm not mad about this. I'm impressed. And I like the detailed kind of breakdown on what it was doing, which helps me understand that it's not stalled, and I could potentially, and then I can hover and see details, and I can go to the file. So it also helps me kind of debug and intervene if I need to. Really big fan of this. Oh, project status is green now. Should we open back up Lovable and see if it like fixed itself somehow? Let's do that. Ascend your clash. Here we are. Add authentication or let's do this. Give the site visitor a landing page which lets them sign up or sign in with email and pass. And it's going to do this thing again. Why? I don't want to do that again. Sorry, bud. And it went yellow again. Are they related or not? I can't tell. I'm suspicious they're related, but I really don't know. Okay. Rosie's cooking. Rosie's cooking. Now we have database integration with Postgres and Drizzle. Cool, I love it. Checkpoint made just now. This is a great time for a checkpoint. System is now production ready with proper input validation, etc. Let's start. Let's go paper. Now I want Thor's hammer, which defeats more than it is defeated by. That's awesome. What? How did he have a Thor's hammer? Start new match. My health is at 3. We recovered the health. Now I would like fireball, 2-2. Let's do lightning. Fireballs can defeat making sandwiches. Good, good. It's all coming together. It's all coming together, chat. Yeah, lightning can beat scissors, so I like that. Ah! Lightning beat the hammer? Oh no! Oh no! Yes! Deploy meme. Yes. Legendary deploy meme. Let's go. How are you? He's having the same moves as me. This is not chill. Is his health not going down? This is a tie. 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 How do I keep tying, huh? I will never know. Okay. When the defeat screen should allow me... Okay, well, hold on. Let's reset everything. Start completely from level 1. Leaderboard. No scores yet. Yeah. The defeat screen should allow me the option to save my score to the leaderboard with my username. The player should be able to choose a username if and only if they are a registered user. If they are not logged in, the UI should invite them to sign up or sign in. The authentication process should preserve their leaderboard stats, perhaps via local storage or by any other mechanism. That's a bit of a complicated prompt, eh? We'll see how Replit does. Let's add a logout button, sure. The button will only appear if Supabase is properly configured. That's a nice thought, but why is it not properly configured? I want it to be properly configured. Create a new Supabase project. Copy Supabase project's URL. Edit and copy the following SQL to paste into your project's SQL editor. On Supabase, I think it means. No, I don't like this. I don't like this. Why don't you do this for me? Okay. It wants me to paste the URL and the anon key over here. Yeah, I see why they are doing this, but I don't like it. I want you to do all that for me. I want want you to do all that for me. All right, I'm going to bail out of this just because I don't want to set up another Supabase instance. So I think we can see how well Rosie is doing. All right. There's some green flags here. There's some green flags here, but overall, I'm more impressed with Replit out of these options. All right, so that's going to conclude for, let's do a couple rounds here. Let's see if we can get a couple rounds here. Ideally, I'd like to be able to actually sign up and sign in on the stream. That would be cool. Consider throwing some likes on the video if you think it's interesting so far. Later today, we will try Codex and Claude. Stay tuned for that. And Cursor. So we're going to add username. Where did that go? Add username input. No LSP diagnostic issues. Good. So it's doing like linting basically and checking for syntax correctness. These are things where Rosie would be falling down. And then charging for the fix. I need to call the architect to review the authentication API work first. Okay, so it has an architect process. Interesting. So it's a multi-agent system approach. I dig it. Let's try to play a little game. It's probably going to reset us and interrupt us, but that's okay. This is just for giggles. Give me the dragon. And I think there's a bug where the enemy always gets my abilities. But we'll deal one thing at a time, right? Make sandwich over scissors. Let's go. I just want one win before it resets me. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Some good the hacker friend did. All right, this is taking some time, so we're going to wrap up here. Follow the page, check back in later. My face will be moving again. I know we're looking forward to that. And then, hopefully we'll be able to validate signing in, signing out, playing. We'll also look at Claude and Codex and Cursor, the 3 C's, Claude, Codex, and Cursor. And we'll try to get something deployed today so that y'all can actually sign up and play. And then we'll try to extend further beyond the battle itself to actually scaling up to more of an RPG experience.